The weekend may be over, but we're not done talking about movies yet. We have to talk about the little movies that we haven't covered, like God's Not Dead, In God We Trust. These are movies that we didn't cover. Nobody spoke about them. In a time of profound political, civil, and spiritual turmoil, Reverend David Hill grapples with the crucial question, does God still have a place in politics? Compelled to enter a congressional race after the sudden death of a favored incumbent, David faces off against State Senator Peter Kane, a formidable opponent determined to push religion out of the public square and cause greater divide. With relentless scrutiny and immense challenges, David's campaign becomes a beacon of hope and optimism for many people yearning for spiritual and moral leadership. As he navigates the treacherous waters of modern politics, David's faith and principles are put to the ultimate test. God's Not Dead, In God We Trust explores the enduring relevance of faith in public life and the critical fight to keep religious values at the heart of governance. Dean Cain, Isaiah Washington, Charlene Tilton, Ray Wise, Scott Baio. How about this Japanese anime film? Dan Da Dan, First Encounter. The first 3 episodes of that show, which is shaping up to be the fall's biggest new anime, is out on 600 screens in a special program. The series is adapted from the manga by Tatsu and Yamashiro. The first episode premiered at Anime Expo in Los Angeles and Anime New York City in New York. G-Kids is holding special limited event screenings on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Well, you missed that. Followed by a global theatrical rollout ahead of the show's October streaming debut. Yes, sir. Greenwich Entertainment opens The Critic, directed by Anand Tucker and starring Sir Ian McKellen, who is seeing some Best Oscar nomination buzz. McKellen is Jimmy Erskine, the most feared theater critic in 1930s London, who lives as flamboyantly as he writes and takes pleasure in savagely taking down any actor who fails to meet his standards. How about Kevin Smith's little movie that you're never going to see? The 4:30 movie. Justin Long, Diedrich Bader, Ken Jeong, Kevin Smith directing. A group of teens in the 1980s spend the day theater hopping. Matt and Mara is playing at the IFC Center in New York City. When Mara, a young creative writing professor, reunites with Matt, a charismatic, free-spirited author from her past, a chance encounter threatens to spin her life in a thrilling new direction. How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies, only on 56 screens. It's been taking Southeast Asia by storm and is a likely frontrunner for Thailand's Oscar entry. The drama follows a scheming young man who, after hearing his grandmother is diagnosed with cancer, moves in to care for her, motivated by a desire to secure her fortune for himself. Unfortunately for him, it turns out that winning grandma's favor is no easy feat. Here's a documentary. It's called Sweetheart Deal. A documentary from directors Elisa Levine and Gabriel Miller. It's at the Angelica in New York City. The story of 4 sex workers caught in the spiral of addiction who turn to a self-proclaimed healer offering friendship and a path to salvation from the streets of Seattle. Here's another documentary, a surfer documentary, Trilogy, New Wave. Sports photographer, producer Andrew Mackenzie on a dream quest. Sorry, phone's crapping out. Across the globe for pristine waves in 8 remote locations from Indonesia and Peru to South Africa and Tahiti. If you've seen any of these films, if you heard of any of these films, if you know somebody who wants to see them, there's a comment section below.